No one can quite say what the creative process is, because I have nothing to do with it almost, because it's created in space. It's God's work, not mine.
Go more like, it's gotta be more like you're feeling something, yeah.
Listen to this. Tell them.
Right now, the anti-OKs are too big. It should be more internal. So you got more movement. It should be more like something's going on inside you. I mean, that's why when we build it to a mountain and we bring it back down, it's gotta have that emotion. Because I want the music to represent the way we feel. You know, it's gotta dictate our emotion.
Right.
You know, our moods. We're expressing the way everybody feels. It's rebellion. You know what I mean? We're letting out what we always wanted to say to the world.
Okay, here we go. Places, please, everyone.
Years ago, Michael Jackson released the biggest-selling album in pop music history, Thriller. Since then, he's become more famous for his bizarre behavior than for his music.
Not everybody tries to buy the Elephant Man's bones. Most people don't sleep in an oxygen chamber or go out in public covered with a mask to hide their plastic surgery.
Spreading rumors that he uses female hormones to keep his voice high and takes chemicals to make his skin lighter.
More music, Z100, Michael Jackson, I Just Can't Stop Loving You. You're not going to play.
A lot of people get so hung up on the Michael Jackson image, but one thing that people seem to forget about is that he makes great music.
On August 31st, something bad is going to happen to you and to millions of people around the world. Bad, the explosive new album from Michael Jackson. In store August 31st.
The CBS record plant has been working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to turn out 8 times the normal advance order for a major LP. Bad is unlikely to match the 40 million sales of the phenomenal Thriller, but it's certain to enter next week's album chart at number 1 as the biggest LP of the year.
Now a new chapter in Michael's career comes into focus with the release of his new album, Bad, and the September 12th launch of his first ever solo tour. Michael Mania is once again sweeping the world. What will he sound like? What will he look like? How will he move? No one is really sure, but we are sure of one thing. Here he comes.
This is the 1987 model Michael Jackson. 5 years on from Thriller, the formula's familiar and the moves are just as sharp, only the face has been changed. Whether Bad is any good or not, and at first listen it sounds like a success, it should sell by the million.
They were queuing all over America, snapping up the first copies of Michael Jackson's latest offering. It's called Bad, but it was a good day at the record shop tills. After 5 years of comparative seclusion, he's changed his image. Long hair, an even gentler look.
It's a lot of talk. A lot of people are talking about it and how foolish he looks.
The look, well, the new look is not too hot, but the album is great, and he's a great entertainer.
What do you think about the Michael Jackson record?
I think it's beautiful. I think the whole album is beautiful. Like they say, the magic is back. Michael is the greatest.
For a star who shuns the spotlight, rarely if ever gives interviews, and appears excruciatingly shy, Michael Jackson has attracted a huge public following.
Michael Madness. You've heard of Beatlemania. This is Michael Madness. Everybody's coming in and buying Michael Jackson.
It's been almost 4 years since you recorded or come out with a new album. How do you feel now that the album is out?
I feel rejuvenated, kinda, because after working on it so long, it's so much work. A lot of people, they're used to just seeing the outcome of work. They never see the side of the work you go through. People believe a lot of crazy stories they read.
Yeah.
Some is true, some is not. And
you ever want to lash out in any type of way and say, hey, that's not true?
Yeah, a lot of times. But why bring more attention to a thing? You know? This 87-88 tour began in Japan, and the reactions were wonderful. The people are so sincere and so hospitable. Thank you, Japan.
If you were looking for souvenirs, you didn't have to go too far. One of the top sellers was the Michael Jackson hat for $32. But you could also get Michael t-shirts, posters, towels, and even a Michael telephone card.
While in Tokyo, we were lucky enough to catch a rare glimpse of Michael's home video, showing a Jackson shopping spree. Together with a few select friends, Michael has a huge department store to himself.
It's the same as blowing into. Well, you can't. It's not the same as.
Can you get any sound out of it?
ちょっと音出していただけます。You need about 3 years of practice.
To coincide with the tour, Japanese businesses are taking full advantage of Michael Mania.
He's great. He's my dream.
He's superstar.
There's 700 lights there and all types of effects and just a beautifully mounted show.
I've never ever seen him nervous about anything. I called him just before he went on this show. This is his first solo tour ever. I said, "You nervous?" He said, "No, I can't wait to get on stage tonight."
It was all leading up to the first show, and his 38,000 fans filed into the stadium had one thing in mind.
ついにその時が来た。
We were scheduled to do 9 concerts, but there was so much demand. We did 14.
Jackson's invasion of Japan is nothing short of bad. He's accompanied on the tour by an 85-person entourage, 110,000 pounds of equipment, and one chimpanzee by the name of Bubbles.
Now you must understand, Bubbles is sensitive to cigarette smoke. So to get rid of any residual odor, Jackson asked the hotel to re-wallpaper the room. And they did.
I think considering just what he's all about and his stature in the business, I think Michael's overwhelmingly sane and normal. Bubbles is a funny little guy. He's fun to be around, you know.
Most of my dreams seem to come true, and I'm so thankful that they do. I don't know over what period of time, but I have lots of dreams and they usually come true, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love children and animals, and that's what's so wonderful about traveling. I get to see all the cultures and people and the children. It's wonderful. It's my greatest inspiration, I would say.
のようなものを掴んだようです。来日した彼とは別人のようです。日本では優しい声で穏やかに話す人が尊敬されるんだ。アメリカとは大違いだよ。
His
following may be enormous, but some people can be unkindly critical, which has prompted Mr. Jackson to hit back with a letter which ended up in America's People magazine. The letter concludes with the plea, "Have mercy, for I've been bleeding for a long time now."
The letter will probably make people feel more sympathetic who already were sympathetic. I mean, basically, he's saying that he's being persecuted and that he's bleeding. And I think it's even going to have an effect on people who've been ridiculing him, and it's been quite a few. On some level, it's going to be real hard to really continue making fun of someone who seems so vulnerable.
But his letter makes it clear that people should mind their own business and let him get on with his singing.
Michael was so thrilled that we got a chance to see you at the airport. We're sorry there was so much trouble.
30,000 people passed through Olympic Park turnstiles. Many were searched for weapons and alcohol.
Program!
Glossy reading material was also available. As soon as the sky got dark, the stage exploded with light and Michael Jackson.
Suddenly the lights blacked out, a thundering roar filled the air, and the enveloping darkness was split by a blinding flash of white laser light, which erupted from the stage as a panel rose and 5 figures slowly emerged. The rock star has already performed 14 concerts in Japan, but his efforts in the East obviously hadn't drained him. Last night, Jackson was full of dynamic energy, showing off his unique dancing style, electric movement and spellbinding voice to a crowd of more than 32,000 who watched enraptured.
A high-voltage performance wired up to another world. The man they call Pop's Peter Pan is in full flight. If there was ever a pure entertainment machine, you're watching it.